everybody. We are live now with our first actual play episode of This Rough Magic, which is a City of Mist game here on Heroes Without Limits. My name is Anna at Nymeria941. You may also know me as on the internet, and I'm here today with a fantastical cast that I'm very excited to see what sorts of myths and legends they have living inside them. So we'll go around, have y'all introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your character, just a quick little thing. And we'll go ahead and start with Ace.
Oh, all right. I guess I'll start. Hi, I'm Ace. I use he, him pronouns, and a little bit about my character. His name is Robin Dior. He is a independent security officer, as well as technically, I guess, part werewolf. It happens, you know.
Just like you do.
Just as it happens. Yeah.
And what is your mythos based off of?
Oh, my mythos is based off of a 12th century story from the author Ambry de France. It's called Beast Clavet.
Awesome. Thank you. And Emery, tell us a little about yourself and who you'll be playing today.
Yeah, I'm Emery. He, him, they, them pronouns. I am playing Mirka, uses she, her pronouns. And Mirka is a recovery coach who has the spirit of Dionysus in her. So she's a bit of a trickster.
Awesome. Love that.
My name's Kiralee. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Tommy, who also uses she, her pronouns. And I'm a civil engineer, a safety building officer around the city. That's my job, and the mythos in me is a fey creature that's called a Tommyknocker, which was a bit like a kobold, like a underground mischievous but also helpful little fey creature.
Awesome. Very good. Sadly, we are down one of our players for our first episode today. Doc Ribot couldn't make it today because they had prior commitments, but they will be joining us the next session that we all meet together. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and set the stage for this, our first session of This Rough Magic. It is late September in Prosper City. The shadows are lengthening, and at the queue, a well-beloved but somewhat shabby community center that has seen better days, all of the kids' chatter turns to thoughts of Halloween, of spooky ghosts, scary skeletons, and dark nightmares only the bravest of them whisper about. You all come to this place pretty often, and although you've heard rumblings that the queue is in danger of being demolished, for now the kids are excited about their costumes, trick-or-treating, all of the candy that they are going to get. The assistant manager, Isaac, whose door is almost always open, it's actually got a little out of office sign hanging there for right now. It says that he is away at an assistant manager training and he will be back start of the next business days after the weekend is over. So, what brings you all to the queue today? What are you doing, hanging out?
That is a good question.
You've definitely got the young kids, the brownies, as they are affectionately called, in the basement. They come there for their meetings after school. I know some of y'all have meetings that you come to, projects that you're working on.
Around what time is it currently, or?
It's like the afternoon, I would think.
Late afternoon? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I would probably just be getting there at this point, probably going to just kind of see what's been going on. He's probably hoping to kind of talk to Isaac about some stuff, but seeing that Isaac's not here, he's kind of just hanging out, I guess, seeing what else is going on that day.
Isaac is not there, but you do notice Morgan, the janitor of the building, wearing the sort of standard issue green polo shirt that all of the Q employees wear at some point. And she has got her like tool belt with wrenches and hammers and all that stuff out, and is fixing a busted water fountain that has just been leaking all over one of the hallways.
Oh boy. Yeesh. All right. I guess I'll go over and kind of straighten up a little bit and be like, do you need a hand with that at all, or are you good?
She's definitely just like hammered her thumb by accident. It's like, oh, damn it. Tripped that thing. Oh, hey, Robin. No, I think I got it, but you know how these things are. It's always a patch job, just until the next thing breaks.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's always something, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I gotta deal with this and then go make sure that I have all the supply closets stocked, taking inventory. We're getting ready for the that kids trick or treat event that we've been planning forever. What are you doing for that again?
I'm not entirely sure. There was kind of a couple ideas thrown about. I think I was just supposed to be like a floater, making sure that nobody needs help with anything on their end, and kind of making sure that things aren't getting too rowdy. You know how it is.
Oh yeah, keep everything safe and secure and all that.
There's always that one person that takes things just a little too crazy, but
yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I'm pretty sure I'll be fixing that kind of stuff for a week afterwards.
Oh, for sure. I'm yeah, you know how it is. But
yeah.
Oh well. He is very kind of just like awkward in this conversation because of his relationship to Morgan, and is just kind of like hands on the hips, like kind of shifting back and forth from one foot to the other, just kind of like, yeah. Just very awkward demeanor, just with her in particular, as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long has it been, do you think, since the two of them were last like together?
I feel like it's been probably a couple of months.
Okay.
To the point where things aren't totally like we can pretend that it like never happened, but it is like still kind of awkward to like be around the other. It's like we're trying to like pretend that this didn't happen, but at the same time it's like it's been only a few months, probably like 4 or 5, so it's like
okay.
It's that weird like turn
awkward zone. Yeah,
that awkward zone. Give it a couple months and maybe it'll be fine, but for right now it is just like yikes.
She just turns back to working on the water fountain. She's like, oh yeah, I don't know if you saw the email this morning, but there's some sort of like staff all hands thing tonight that we all were called towards. We're gonna all have a meeting after the brownies go home at the end of the night, so I'll save you a seat.
All right, I appreciate that. I'll double check, make sure I got that email, because I feel like I saw it and then just, you know how it is, but
yeah.
I'll see you there then. And he kind of just like heads off. Awkward wave.
After he steps away, I think tell me if this is okay. I think I want to have been in like the vent above them, because
Perfect.
my idea is that Tommy's like got another word that there's in her job that there's something wrong with the building, and so between two things she's got to do this afternoon, she's like come through to just like do a quick look around to like confirm again to herself that like the structure is sound and everything's fine. And then so she was like about to jump back through the sort of like the hole to get into the roof, but she like there was this awkward conversation happening, so she was just like, like just hanging there until it sort of reached an end, and she felt like she didn't want to interrupt, so she was just like awkwardly hanging out in the roof.
Nice.
And so yeah, she jumps down and says to Morgan, yeah, like everything is like, you know, like what Isaac said, like the roof has only just been redone, like it's fine, everything is sound. I like, yeah, I don't quite understand the issue. Did you meet the person that came through, and did somebody come and look at the roof?
No, I just got one of those messages that was like, hey, heads up, somebody's coming by to do a building inspection. I mean, I thought it was kind of weird. Usually that kind of stuff gets taken care of. I don't do a lot of maintenance on it, but I don't know who they were. Somebody from the city hall. But
That's
I didn't get a name.
Weird.
Do you know him maybe?
Like maybe I like, well, like I don't recognize the name. I don't think that's signed off as the like technician, but yeah, weird. Oh well, I can like, I'll just like put in another form and let it, maybe it's just a mistake. Maybe like we look at a lot of buildings, so maybe they just thought it was like like got the address wrong or something. Like it could be something, it could be like, you know, a clerical bullshit thing. Anyway, okay, well, at least I feel better now. I've got to go to my my next thing. Are you, there was like a thing that we're meant to be heading to tonight?
Yeah, staff meeting thing after all the brownies go home. I think it's probably about whatever it is that they brought you here to inspect, but not really sure. So
yeah. Alrighty, I'll try to get some more information before I come, and yeah, look forward to seeing you and everybody there.
yeah, see you around, Tommy.
And Tommy goes off to like whatever the next job for the day is.
Nice.
So I think if this is afternoon, I'm coming in to see clients after school. Probably people I couldn't catch up with elsewhere, and I know that they're probably going to be here. So I would come through, probably also see Morgan on my way through. And I think I seem pretty annoyed, but I'm like, what's this with the staff meeting tonight?
Yeah, I really don't know that much about that. They just said that somebody from the demolition company or something was going to come talk to us, or they were going to talk to us about the demolition. I thought that was just a rumor, but apparently they might be going through with it after all. So I think we're going to discuss plans for the future, whatever that means. But
I can't even with this stuff anymore. Like, it's all the time. It's always.
Yeah.
They have this stuff come up last minute on us all the time. Why can't they have a plan? Anyways, it's not your fault. I'm sorry. It's just,
that's okay.
It's been one of those days.
And it's something that's frustrating.
All right. Well, I'll see you tonight.
Yeah. And when you're working with your clients, what kind of things are you doing with them? Is this like a one-on-one talking thing, or in a group? What does that look
probably
like?
In this case, if I'm trying to catch people, it would be one-on-one as I can catch them. You know, they've been kind of avoiding me. I'm trying to, you know, do what the judge said I have to, and catch up with people. So I would be coming through looking for people who are trying not to be found.
Gotcha.
You know.
So your afternoon passes, and the business of this building is going about as it usually does. There's been a steady trickle of kids coming in as school has let out. It's been getting a little bit progressively louder, messier, all that kind of thing. And at some point during the evening, the kids break off into some smaller groups, and then the group called the Brownies goes with y'all downstairs to the basement. And the Brownies are tongue-in-cheek named kids that have displayed traits of having a mythos from a really young age. So they are just starting to figure out a little bit of new things about their powers. Tell me, what is it each of you are doing to help out these kids? And you can feel free to make up stuff about them on the spot. What are you doing to help them out? And you can do this with each other too. It doesn't have to just be like one at a time.
I think honestly it really depends on like what kind of mythos they're like sharing. If any of them have anything regarding like a physical prowess that they're trying to like work on enhancing, that would definitely be something that I could help out with. And I think that there's, I mean, I'm sure that there's a huge like level of like varying kind of like what abilities that they're showing. So I'm sure that I've kind of got like a little corner for helping them kind of like not, I don't know how to like say it, but it's like something where it's like if they just want to punch something and see what happens, I'll just have like those little like gloves or whatever, that like those little fake boxing gloves, and just have them up and they can just kind of like do whatever. Because I'm like, I'm a big dude. There's not a whole they're probably not gonna hit me that hard. So I've got that going in one part of the room.
It's like in The Incredibles where the little boy isn't allowed to run at his like top speed, and you're
Yeah.
like in the room, you're like, don't hold back, and they're like, but really, I hurt people, and you're like,
Just
it's fine.
Just do it. Just get it over with. So
That's awesome.
there's
That's
that
so
going
cute.
on.
I think I think in my head it's sort of because we're in sort of the basement, so it's maybe just one big room, like and so like that's happening split off in one section, and then in another section I've got a group of kids that like, I don't know, the mythos, the things that are sort of coming out inside them are just a bit hard to pinpoint. Like there's something and they're here, but they don't really know what it is. So we do like, I don't know, like an activity that you would do at camp, or like we do like a team building exercise, or we do that one where you've got to build a bridge, but you only have a piece of paper, and so you've got to build a bridge that holds like a certain weight, but you only have a piece of paper, and you got to work out how to fold it to make it like sturdy enough to hold that weight. And I'm just sort of like encouraging them to try and see if they have anything inside them that like helps in the situation. And I think it's one of those things where like some nights like no one sort of, I guess, like manifests anything. Sometimes it's just like a group of kids making a thing, and other times the paper goes up in flames and we're not really sure who, and we kind of all look to see like who was who was that was I mean, impressive. Not a bridge, not a bridge, but that's chemical engineering. What you did there, what you've done is you've changed the cellulose, the paper, into ash, which is also useful. Well, and everybody, what do we think that could be useful for? I mean, not a bridge, but that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's so cute.
And Morgan is there with a fire extinguisher just in case things get a little bit out of hand, to make sure that, you know, the kids don't lose anything more precious than their eyebrows when there's fire involved.
I'm going to be off in another area teaching like sleight of hand type things. calling it magic, but most of it's not really magic, but sometimes it is. And I don't know what's going on. Making the quarter appear behind the ear, or teaching people how to guess the card, and knowing that once in a while one of these kids is going to be able to read the mind of the person for real, and trying to kind of suss that out as to exactly what's going on there.
I get a sense we don't really know what we're doing. Like, I get a sense that we have a feeling like having a mythos has made our lives a bit weird and complicated, and there are these kids, and somebody needs to help. Like, somebody needs to do something, because things are happening. They need mentorship. But that thing where you just feel really not you're like, why am I that person? That's not.
Yeah.
And so we kind of are doing things that we feel like would have been helpful for us, I guess, but we're just kind of like, no, I don't know, maybe try this thing. I don't know if everyone agrees.
Yeah, I like the idea that we kind of don't really have an idea of I don't know, what we should be doing, but we're trying to help however we can. And even before, I feel like before we kind of get everyone into these little stations, we have a group meeting, quote unquote, beforehand, where we're like, all right, if there's anything anybody wants to do today, speak up and we can figure it out, and we'll try and make it work. Because in actuality, there's not, there's no way to know what's gonna work and what won't. So we're just kind of doing whatever and seeing if anything sticks.
Yeah, and sometimes we're like, scones? Maybe we make scones. I don't know. That could be good. Or yeah. And then every now and then a kid shows off a mythos that none of us have ever. Somebody turns into a lizard or something, and we're just yeah, we're qualified for this. This is fine. Good. Yeah. Oh, everyone clap. This is normal and fine.
I'm imagining Robin is helping some kid work on something physical, and then out of the corner of his eye he sees across the room, you said, someone turned into a lizard, and just kind of stops for a second, and then everyone else is looking over, and he's got this moment of I've never seen that happen. That's new. Oh geez.
I feel like parents come in and tell us, my kid's been doing this. They're oh, okay, but we don't really keep any records or anything, so we have no idea whose kid this is that they're telling us.
Wait, which one is that?
Yeah. I also like the idea of every now and then we weed out a kid that actually doesn't have a mythos. There's just a kid that's lost from an upstairs class, or their parents are yeah, really, something weird is happening. And we're just no.
But really, it's just kids being kids. And
kids
it's weird in the way that children can be.
Yeah.
And then we can't convince the parents that the kid doesn't have a mythos most of the time, because their kid has got to be the most special kid ever.
And so the kid just hangs out sometimes. We don't I'm pretty sure that kid doesn't have a mythos, but the parents are well, just keep an eye on it and see if anything happens. And they just hang out or whatever.
Can we name this kid? I love this kid already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh
Give this kid a name.
Kid that's just around.
This is
being
Timmy.
This is Timmy. Timmy, the random mundane kid that just wants to hang out with the brownies and have a good time. Excellent. It's canonical.
It's the most stereotypical normal kid name too, and I love it.
Yep.
Does he know? Is he
Timmy.
Is he accepting of the fact that he doesn't, or is he there being is this anything? Is this?
I think that Timmy's probably maybe 6 or 7, right? So he's still pretty young. And I think that he just will get to these points where he tells these stories that seem like they're so outlandish. And then one day when I got up out of my bed and there was a rainbow dragon right there, and I was going to feed it marshmallows, it was ready to go. And then we rode around and we went on this great adventure and we looked for buried treasure. And like, he believes it. Like, he's there. So much so that like, maybe you're not really sure whether this actually happened or not, but this kid, Timmy, he believes he was there.
He is sold, and he's selling the rest of us on it. He's just that charismatic for a little 6-year-olds.
Love it.
It's perfect.
And as your like activity time with the brownies goes on, as you're helping all of these different kids try and like get a little more in touch with the powers inside of them, in comes to the queue someone that you all recognize as the director of the organization. Her name is Ariel. She comes in a couple times a week, usually. She's one of those sort of traveling directors that goes to different, you know, branches around different neighborhoods, things like that. But she comes to this particular building a couple times a week. She has an office there. She's pretty tall, wearing like a long floor length skirt, but interestingly enough, not the standard green polo shirt that most of the employees wear. She's wearing something a little bit more dressy than that. And she's like, all right, everybody, time to sit down, crisscross applesauce, get out your journals. And this is something that the kids generally do at the end of a session with all of you. There's some time to just sit down and reflect and think about anything that they've learned, process anything that they have discovered recently about themselves. And as they're settling in, she's like, all right, now we have a really big holiday coming up. What's that? And you're like, Halloween! Bunch of really excited kids. She's like, yeah. So I was thinking maybe today we could write about something that we find scary. Halloween can be a really fun time. You get to dress up, you get to go trick-or-treating and get candy and all that sort of thing. But sometimes you might see something on Halloween night that's a little bit scary to you. I mean, for me personally, I'm really afraid of spiders. And some of the kids are like, ah! Like the ones sitting in the front row when she goes, spiders, they just laugh and then they start giggling. And she's like, you can write about it, you can draw a picture of something that you're afraid of, and just think about how that makes you feel and what you would do if you saw the thing that you're most afraid of.
I see like a couple of inch long spider heading towards the director, and I just like wide eye at one of the kids who can do like small like illusory magic, and I just like wide eye her and I'm like and it just like fizzles.
Nice.
That's so good.
And then there's the lizard kid who turns himself into a spider.
Oh, Jesus. Has he done that before?
She's just like, Dylan, I know you can do that. And he's just like, oh, man.
Oh, my God, Dylan, you scared
me.
Dylan.
And as the kids are just sort of drawing and the parents are coming to pick them up and everything like that, Ariel and Morgan start getting together, setting out some folding chairs for everybody to just sit down for the staff meeting. And gradually all of the different pictures just get pinned up around the room. And you see some things that, you know, are very typical things that children would be scared of, like big barking dogs or just the dark. You know, there's a page that's mostly just colored with black and blue crayon that just looks like the dark, and spiders, all that kind of thing. And yeah, so you're all sitting around and Ariel's like, all right, thanks everybody for staying here late after your session. As always, we really appreciate all the time that you spend with the kids. And I wanted to bring everybody here because I wanted to have a pretty honest and open discussion about the future of this community center and what that means for all of us going forward. Now, as some of you may know, there is currently a motion underway that would demolish this building in order to make room for a new development. I don't think I need to tell anybody here that yes, it kind of is a struggle when you're running a nonprofit to make sure that you're able to keep up with rent and expenses and also focus on the work that you're trying to do, take care of your employees, take care of your volunteers, and all that kind of thing. So it's something that we have to seriously consider. But Tommy, I know, has been working alongside a preservation society. Did you want to tell the group a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, obviously we all care about the building, and it has a lot of value to us for lots of different reasons. But I mean, also, I've been speaking to some people about the value it has to the city. It is like a important old. It's like one of the older buildings in the city, and there aren't that many left. So it's also very it's been like kept up really well. So it seems like we have a good run for the potential of getting it the status of my brain just blanked. Like a heritage listing for the building. Yeah. It's really hard to get though. It's not that's not like more likely not, but it also looking at in City Hall, you can go, I encourage all of you, you can go and see the plans for the development. It doesn't appear that they need this space. Like there are other places, there are other developments that are occurring. So yeah.
That's great. I think that definitely if you have questions about the historical landmark thing or want to get involved with that, Tommy's advice is really, really great. This is what I do know and what I can tell all of you. The name of the development company that is proposing to buy the building and the land that it sits on is Milan Ventures. And unfortunately, we do have a proposed date already for the demolition. It's October 31st. I'm trying to convince them that we want to finish out at least all of our programming for the holiday and for Halloween, because I know that the kids are really excited about it. But that is the date that they have set. And unless we can come up with something either to fund the building or get it protected in some other way, I think that's going to be it for us. And she looks kind of dejected by this. Like, this is somebody that is old enough to have had some experience with these kind of setbacks at work before, but she definitely seems like this one in particular kind of painful to think about losing this place.
How much money are we talking about?
I mean, the rent for this is, and then she just lists off a number that is, relatively speaking, just because it's hard to do this in real dollars and currency conversions, probably about like 30% higher than what it's been month to month since y'all have been here. It's something that, given the nature of the work that you do, and the fact that you try to make services available to as many and wide variety of people as possible, even people that, you know, can't necessarily afford to pay, it's not something that you would be able to easily make up with things like tuitions for day camp or classes or any of the other things that would happen there. So it's a lot, and we do have a lot of really generous donors, but I really don't think that this is something that we could get around without having the city invest in us a little bit more.
I just have we, like, the building like does a lot for the community. Like there's a food bank in the building, there's like a holiday program, upstairs and downstairs. There's a homework program. There's, all sorts of different things for, like, we have, like, I saw, like, seniors tango is starting up again. So I just, it seems odd to me that, have we spoken to, like, our local representative?
Well, that's part of the reason why we're having this meeting here, because if this does have to get all wrapped up, I need to make sure to be on the business end of things, making sure that all of that goes according to plan. But I would really appreciate it if we had anybody from this group that had the time and the energy to be able to take point on something like this. As it is right now, there's not too much I can get involved with that hands-on, because I do have to deal with the people at Milan Ventures, and yeah, my hands are a little bit tied in that respect. But I would really, really appreciate it if, you were going to the city council or something like that with a proposition for them that this building would be really important to keep in the hands of the community.
I think we could try and put something together at the very least, because I don't know, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but it's better to try at the very least than just kind of let this happen, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, some things just aren't meant to be, but I think it would be kind of sad if this was one of them.
I don't think that that's the case, in all honesty, but we'll have to figure it out, I guess, and figure out what we want to do about that.
I can get some information. I have a meeting at the with the city planning committee. We have them quarterly, and the next one is this week. So I can at least find out a bit more information. At the moment, it's not the like, I know that you might think that, like, bureaucrats and people up in City Hall don't really, like, care about I don't know, community buildings like this, but they really do. Like, as like town planners, they think about the life of the people living in the city and the quality of life. And this building gives a lot to that. It's like the same way you would fight for, like, a park in the middle of a city is sort of this. So I don't see why everybody there is kind of signed off so quick. So I think gathering a bit more information would be a good first step.
Yeah, I would really appreciate that. That's the kind of thing, maybe open for public comment as well, right? Like, could we send some people to the meeting, or?
That there are open like open forums. That's more a like a appointed committee, that one.
Well, maybe I'll send out a message to some of our parent volunteers for things like that, and they can help, like, organize with the forums and all of that as well.
I mean, if they get loud, at the forums, especially the people who use the service, that would be good. But I mean, I didn't really realize, I wasn't completely understanding that it was the Milan group, though. They're pretty ruthless in their acquisitions.
Yep, you can say that again for sure.
I have some pretty well-connected friends. I can go see what they think about this, what they know, gather some more information that way.
What date is it today? How much time do we have?
You have about 5 or 6 weeks from the day that it is now, to the point where like the demolition day is set for the 31st, but they're probably going to be clearing out the building and getting some of the safety stuff in order slightly before that.
For sure.
So about 5 weeks.
Okay. So we've got 5 weeks to make a plan, or to have a fully functional plan. Okay.
Was it Ariel? Ariel. Like, I don't want to be like this person, but do you have a, like, if we can't save it, where will, like, especially the brownies end up?
I mean, ideally, we would be able to try and redistribute some of them among the different branches in the neighborhoods, but this is really the place that's best equipped to deal with, you know, the things that kids that have a mythos would need. It has the space, it has the mentorship program with people like you know, who are adults that also have this. And I mean, we could make it work, but it would probably be the end of the program as we know it.
And all the programs upstairs.
Yep, that too.
That's,
I mean, good.
there you
go. I mean, we couldn't just move the program completely to one of those other locations. They don't, like, that just doesn't seem like something that would be unfeasible to me. Not that I don't want to save this, but if we can redistribute them to different locations, we can redistribute them all to the same location and bring us with them.
It's a possibility. And then she just goes into, you know, some of the logistics of things like that, and like transportation between neighborhoods and districting for schools and all of that kind of technical thing. But it's definitely a possibility. Yeah, if go ahead.
Do we know, this might be in character, I don't know. Ariel, do we know if buildings have a mythos? Does this building have like a story?
This building does not have a mythos, but it is possible that a location can have a mythos on it. This one is a pretty just standard community center urban building thing, but there are buildings that can have mythoses. You may have been to some of them before.
Really?
It's a Timmy that we all just, it's a mundane Timmy that we love.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Okay, well, can we have another meeting soon? If we only have 5 weeks, I can gather this information. As I said, that meeting's this week. So I should be able to get more information after that. I can also do like a full write-up, a full report on the building.
That would be great. I think that would be really convincing if we're going for the historic landmark thing. I'll be back in the office here probably a couple days after that meeting of yours. So just let me know what you find and I'll be in touch.
Not a problem.
And then if we want to schedule something before that, it might be good for us to kind of schedule something right after your meeting so that we can, at the very least, kind of have an idea of what we want to do or like what action we want to take, I guess, in the meantime, because it'd be better to get as much done as we can before it gets close to the demolition date. But yeah. I'll be honest, this sort of thing is really not my my area of expertise. So this is all a bit new to me, but whatever you think the best course of action is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we could have a meeting ourselves. And we can sort of work out halfway if we have found anything. Look, I do know stuff about this, and this particular acquisition it's not running the same way that like when somebody wants to buy a building in the city or a land in the city, normally you need to like there's like a cost benefit analysis to that type of thing, and like environmental issues and like social issues get taken into consideration. And for me, that would mean this building should just be left alone because of the social value it has, but it seems like that hasn't been done at all.
Why do you, I don't know, I guess, why do you think something's not, I mean, obviously something's not right, but do you have any idea of like what it could be or why?
Can I roll to see if I've like, I don't know, gotten any actual bad mythosy vibes or anything like that?
Yeah, sure.
So I have as one of my themes, I have like clairvoyance. So I have premonition. So okay, would you like me to roll? Are we rolling on roll 20? Yeah.
Yeah, we can roll 20, or if you just have physical dice. I think this is probably going to be an investigation roll because you're trying to figure something out. And then just tell me what power tags you're using, and we add those to the roll.
Ooh, first
you can
roll
use
20
up
roll.
to 3. They just have to be actually applicable to what you're doing.
Okay, cool. Well, so I have that clairvoyance one. So I will use. So my first tag for that is is premonitions. Okay. So I'll use that. In that, I also have one that says covers the entire city, which was just an idea that I have like a sense across different things that are happening in the city. So that kind of works as well.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's totally valid. So you've got 2 to add there. Awesome.
Yeah, and I think that is enough. And then so I click investigate.
Oh, awesome.
Did that roll?
Yes. So you got a 10, which is a great success. You get clues equal to the number of power tags that you used. So you get to ask me 2 questions, make them as specific as you can, about what you're trying to find out. I guess you could ask another player a relevant question about their character, which doesn't really apply here. And I have to give you a straight answer or a solid lead. So what 2 questions would you like to ask me?
Okay, my first question is, have I had a vision, like have I had with my mythos, I sort of get visions specifically about like physical things around the city. Have I had a vision or a sense that there's something wrong or bad or not mundane about this the Mulan group and this project?
Yeah, I would say you have noticed that there is something mythical about it. because you've got that kind of feelers all around the city thing. I think specifically you've noticed there's something weird about it, and there are a lot of those like now under construction signs in front of a lot of different buildings around the city. This isn't the first time that the Milan Corporation has bought up some buildings and some land for demolition. And it's mostly been places like creative studios or daycare center areas or theaters, things like that.
So it's a bit insidious.
There's definitely a pattern there. Yeah.
Okay, and my second question is oh, I don't know, that was my only I can't think of another question. I guess my other question is I don't know. Can somebody help? I don't know what my other question
Yeah, that's valid. Yeah, go ahead.
Are they questions that you can just think of, or do you like pick from a list?
No, they're just whatever questions you want to ask about like the specific topic at hand, which was yeah, Tommy's mythos about, hey, is there anything sinister about the Milan Corporation? So it can be a question that's specific to that, or another option is you can save that clue and ask me a question again in the future. It does have to be on the same topic though, so you couldn't use a clue for something completely unrelated. You could just bank it.
I mean, you mentioned like that you know a little bit about them and like the history. Is there a question that you could ask about like how you've like what you've kind of how you've dealt with them before, I guess, or like personal history stuff?
Oh yeah. So
saving a question is also important, but
I think in my head with my personal history, I've maybe tried to save an old building before and from them, and it just hasn't gone down. I guess my other question would be, do I get a sense that I guess maybe do I know the mythos of like any of the top people from the group? Like, do I get a sense of any of the like story elements of their like,
what is their background?
What is their vibe? Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah. You definitely get that vibe. You don't know specifics about the mythos of the executives of this company, but you have met their CEO before. His name is Dean Prosper, and he shares his last name with the city because it was his family that showed up in this area and decided to create a city and name it after themselves. He is a sort of middle-aged
Oh, we lost Anna.
Oh, we did. Oop.
Anna, come back to us.
Am I back?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Yeah. So I'll just start at the beginning because I don't know when I cut out. So you don't know what the mythos is for the leader of this company, but you have met their CEO before. His name is Dean Prosper. And in fact, his last name has to do with the same Prospers that founded this city years and years ago. He is part of that family. You have worked with him before because he's been buying up a lot of different properties around town. He's a middle-aged gentleman that is always wearing an impeccably tailored three-piece suit. He's got like salt and pepper hair that's very slicked back, almost shellacked and shiny like that. He is one of those people that is always super polite to your face, but you kind of have the idea that he's attempting to undercut what you do behind your back. And you know that he has his offices in the downtown area in one of the like fancy, shiny skyscrapery type buildings. That's where the corporation is located.
Do I have any knowledge of his mythos at all?
No, you know he has one, but you don't know what it is. Not yet.
Okay.
I hate to be pessimistic, but if his name is Dean Prosper and the city is named kind of after his family, we might be in trouble on this one, guys. we might be in a little bit of trouble. I don't know. I don't think that this is gonna. Sorry, don't mean to laugh. However,
I mean,
doesn't
like,
sound great.
Yeah, I would hate to think. I don't know that that's the way the world works still, though. Like, you know, there are meetings, there are committees that decide city planning things. Like, sure, his family founded the city, but you know,
all I'm saying is that with a little bit of money and a little bit of influence, you can get away with a lot. And I think we might be in a bit of trouble. But I'm not saying it's not worth a shot to try, but we might be in over our heads at one point or another, because even though that we have, committees and stuff to prevent that sort of thing, like, it still happens. So I think we should at least be very careful with how we proceed in that regard.
Yeah, I agree.
I was about to say, Mika, get on my side. But no, you agree? Okay.
I agree. Look, it's going to be tough. I don't think it's impossible. I think we can do it. But
exactly.
I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to take a lot.
A lot of work, and who knows? It might not hurt to try and talk to the guy, but at the same time, like, it could hurt. I don't know, just be careful, I guess, with however we choose to proceed.
Look, I have seen them just run roughshod over stuff in the past, but I just have to believe in the processes in place. Like, there are processes in place for these things. You can't just, it must just be a clerical error that they haven't put in, like a social impact statement. I'm going to bring that up at the committee, and like, they have to see the value. They have to see the value in this building. And I take umbrage. I take umbrage at the pessimism, and there are other hats, okay? Black hat is one of the hats, but there are many, many colors. And I suggest we have a go at each of them, because you never know. You never know what could happen. We've got a couple of weeks. Do we tell the brownies?
I think we should. Oh, geez, that's gonna be tough. I think we should wait a little bit before telling the brownies. I don't know. I don't want them to worry, I guess, about this, but I want to see what we can. I want to wait and see what we can do before we get a hold of them and be like, hey, just so you guys know, this is what's happening.
If
You
they
do need to give them a good bit of notice.
Yeah, for sure. We're not going to just tell them the day before and be like, you guys are on your own now. But it might not actually hurt to just wait a little bit so that we can work on figuring out how we want to, I guess, I don't know how to say this, but like to prepare them just in case and just to kind of help them be ready for if this is no longer something we can offer. And to be like, hey, here's how you can help yourself a little bit too.
They're going to be.
You hear a lot of the same stories I do in this place. Like you hear a lot of the same stories the kids tell. We don't tell them something and they hear it from somebody else who's heard it from somebody else who's heard it from somebody else. And it's going to grow to the point where it's Timmy's dragon level. And they're tearing down the building with them in it or something. And that's going to get bad. So I think we need to not take too long before we tell them.
For sure. Kids are smart. If we don't tell them soon, they'll figure it out on their own, and we don't want that. But
none of the other brownie groups are going to let Timmy stay in the brownies.
Right?
We're doing all this for little Timmy.
We have to do it for Timmy, our one little mundane kid. He's just hanging around.
Like, what are we going to do with little Timmy?
Oh, dear. He had one about, I don't know. He had one about, like, befriending a werewolf the other day, and I was half convinced because, like, I mean, possibly. And then, like, the werewolf vomited some sort of lolly.
That's... Yeesh. I don't know. What should our course of action be, I guess, besides, like, if you go to this meeting and they're just basically like, it's going to happen, what do we do?
Well, I think Mac is right. I think we tell them, we tell, next time we meet with the kids, we tell them everything we know. And if we don't have answers, we let them know that we don't have answers. I agree that they can't find out from somewhere else, and we have to respect that they'll be able to deal with it and like, yeah.
All right.
But also I think we I don't know, we gather information. You Robin, you said you know people. Oh no, somebody said they know people.
I know people.
Yeah, that's Mac.
I have people
well, I guess
that I can.
Yeah. You don't know.
So
you don't know people, Robin. You know people.
I mean, I'm sure I could figure out something, but I'll work on that. Yeah, but yeah, I believe Mac is the one that actively is like, I know people, I got a plan, but yeah. Is Morgan here while this is going on?
Yeah, Morgan is still here. She's doing the sort of like final pass through the building of the day, the dry mop thing across the floor, making sure that the lights are all turned out, the trash is taken out. She's basically shutting down the building for the night. But yeah, she's still here.
All right. Well, if she's wrapping up, I don't want to stick around too long, but all right, I guess for right now then, should we adjourn this meeting?
Yeah, let's gather information and I mean, what do we say? Brownies is like bi-weekly. We'll see each other again this week and see if we've found any more information.
Mm-hmm. What day of the week is it?
It's just like a Monday. We could say brownies are like Monday, Wednesday.
Okay, cool. And then, okay, brownies meet on Monday, Wednesday. All right, good to know.
Yeah.
All right. So as we're leaving there, I'm going to make a phone call. I'm going to call my friend Lucy. She is on the city council.
Nice.
And I'm just going to ask questions, see what she can tell me about this.
Okay. So that sounds like you were trying to investigate. Are you going to be using any power tags to add to that?
Yeah, I'm going to use Network of the Fellowship.
Nice.
So that's an 8.
8. Okay, so it's a mild success. You can ask me one question about the subject of your investigation. Okay, interesting. So I have to give you a straight answer or a solid lead, but they can also, or I can also expose you to danger. The clues you get are fuzzy, incomplete, or part true, part false, or whatever you are asking questions can ask you one question as well. So I can ask you something back. Okay. So what is your question that you have for Lucy here? And also, Lucy is somebody that you know from your recovery group?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just so I was like, wait a second, which fellowship? Right. What would you say? What would you say that your character's relationship is like with her?
She's definitely a fairly strong member of the support system that
Cool.
Mirka has built for herself. Yeah. And I'm gonna ask her what information she knows about this building being torn down.
Okay. And she works on the city council. Okay. So she's like, hey, it's good to hear from you. Everything okay? And we're just chatting about that.
Yeah.
And she's like, so yeah, I heard about what's going on down with the queue over there. I really hope that building doesn't get torn down. I would be more than happy to help out. It's going to take me a little while to do some research, but what did you have in mind?
I'm just wondering why this building is being torn down, and if there's anything that I can do to help save it, because we're kind of lost on a way to go right now. We don't know how to take on this big huge group as a small group of people.
No, that makes total sense. I feel that so hard at work. Well, I haven't really had too much interaction with the company side of things, but Dean Prosper, the guy in charge, he's been around the office a couple of times, and he just will not stop talking about how excited he is to expand this city's creative horizons. And he's always saying all of these stupid buzzwords about like, dream big dreams, think big, follow your dreams, da 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 da, that kind of stuff. I'm not really sure why he is so into that kind of inspirational poster speech, because he's usually pretty cutthroat, but he really cares about dreams a lot for some reason. Maybe you can appeal to his like emotional sensitive side or something like that. I don't know if he's dying to be one of those people that, funds a symphony orchestra single-handedly or whatever, but you ask me, he's going the wrong way about doing that.
Makes sense.
I mean, maybe if you can make the case that, yeah, this helps people follow their dreams and support the arts and all that. Yeah. I don't know. He doesn't really listen to what the city council has to say quite as much as I'd like. But his wallet talks. So we got to go along with it sometimes.
Interesting. Okay. Well, thank you so much for this. I appreciate you taking my call and having a conversation about this. I'll see you at the meeting next week.
See you then. Beep. All right. Since we do pass in pretty cinematic time, you can feel free if there's anything that you need to do in downtime to just narrate that out, but we can go ahead to what are the next steps that you want to take here as a group? Or if there's anything that you need to do on your own.
There's nothing that I particularly need to do on my own. I don't know about you guys.
I'm good.
I just have, like, if we're just going through the week, I just have this city planning meeting I have a meeting to go to.
Yeah. So if there's anything in particular that you want to do at that meeting or that you're trying to get out of that, let's talk through that.
So I think that one of the gaps I have found is this lack of like social impact statement. And so I'm just going to sort of query that with and just try and sort of find like I'm sort of going to appeal. I'm going to be like, come on, we all know that like gentrification is an issue and we all care about these older heritage buildings, and I'm working on this heritage listing. I'm just sort of like impassionately to this committee just being like you know, like what's happening here? Like we've allowed this company, it seems, to acquire a lot of real estate across the city. And I get that like they have money and they build like beautiful buildings, but what's going on? Why the queue?
So are you trying to figure out why specifically this building, or are you trying to persuade them of something? Like convince them to be on your side?
I think I'm trying to convince, I don't think I'm necessarily asking them anything. I'm trying to convince them. I think it's like an impassioned sort of, like I go into all the details and I've like written a social impact statement that should have been written by somebody. And I'm like, here, I've done some like free work. And I know that I have like, I know that it's a conflict of interest because like I work with, you know, some of the kids down there. I get that, but send somebody else and like get a report written, because this is taking away one of the like part of the soul of the city. I'm trying to convince them to be on my side, I think.
So you're trying to get them all hyped up and everything. Okay, go ahead and make a convince roll for me and tell me if you're using any power tags.
Yeah, I'm trying to convince them, and the music swells. So one of my tags for my mission is city planning committee member.
Perfect.
So I'll use that.
That seems applicable.
Yeah. And oh, hang on, I gotta untag these ones.
Yeah, that's the one thing about the sheet is you have to remember to untag what you used before.
I think that's it. I'll just use that one.
Okay. So you're using your position on the committee to be more convincing.
Oh, maybe can I also use like my engineering tag, because like that's kind of the power I have on the committee, is the fact that I'm an engineer. That's why I'm there.
Right. So like you knowing about, you know, the history of the building and the way it's constructed would help you like make your argument. Sure. Yeah. As it's up to you totally which tags you decide to use. As long as it's relevant and you can convince me, you can use it.
Awesome. All right. I will. Wait, my sheet disappeared. Sorry. Okay,
No worries. All right. So you choose a relevant status with tier power. Target can choose to take the status or give in a little. Okay, so I think with that roll, it's mixed. You will be able to convince them that this is something that they need to do. And they're just like, yeah, you know, Tommy, she has a good point about this. The history of the city is really important. And they get a little bit bogged down in the, okay, so we're going to set somebody to do the paperwork, we're going to get this in motion. This is probably going to take 3 to 4 weeks, probably, before we can see some results from this. You know how it is with bureaucracy and paperwork and all of that. But we'll do our best to fast track this as quickly as we can. Do you think maybe we could get like a signature petition going sometime this week, just to go around and see if the public is actually really interested in preserving this building? That would be an important first step, I think.
Yeah, well, I think we've got some parents and some interested parties showing up to the public forum, and if signatures are a good idea, I can let them know to start collecting. But thank you for sort of seeing the importance of this, and I would welcome anyone you want to put on the team, as I said, because I know I'm biased.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we definitely want to preserve the character of the city before it all just really starts to look the same, like the downtown area and all that. All right, let's get those signatures rolling then. So yeah, the mild success. They are willing to help you, but it is going to take a while because government bureaucracy tends to be a little bit slow and not necessarily the most timely, but they will help you out for sure. And maybe over the next couple of days, there will be some sort of flyers and things that they'll have printed up that will be like, please, if you want to save this area of the city, sign the petition. And it'll be like a website and that sort of thing that people can go to. But you've got the ball rolling on that.
I believe in the system. The system will work.
Oh, anybody else have anything they want to do, or do we want to move to a scene altogether? It's up to y'all.
There's nothing in particular for me. If you guys we wanna group back up.
Sounds good. And that doesn't even have to be at the queue. You could decide to go somewhere else as well. You just name a place and we'll do it.
Where's another spot where you guys would want to meet up?
There like a cafe we like, somewhere where we can like take 2 tables and spread out bits of paper.
24-hour coffee shop.
That sounds super nice.
Let's go to the Cool Beans Cafe.
The Cool Beans Cafe. Perfect.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Robin gets off work late, is that right? or like works late?
Yeah, his schedule kind of is all over the place. Usually works at nights, so he's a little bit harder to get a hold of during the day, but you can always call him and he'll show up. He probably gave you his number at some point, but you can get a hold of him. He's just probably asleep during the day.
I feel like this is also probably the kind of place that's, you know, got a neon sign where it's open late. And so like maybe during the day, it's more of the business people on their lunch breaks. And then at night, it's the people that, you know, have been working all day during the shift, or students that are trying to cram for their exams or something like that. So the crowd will flip over throughout like the 24-hour period, but there's usually a pretty steady stream of customers
For
at
sure.
a place that serves coffee and food and is always open.
Heck yes.
I love this.
I feel like it's got some significant like structural issues, this building. And it, like I'm like, it's not that I'm uncomfortable, it's more that I'm just like trying to not pay attention to it. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. That water's really close to that power, but that's fine. It's good.
The chat is saying that Kiralee and my caption aren't working.
Oh, funny. I just sent a message about that in the Zoom call the second you said it.
My caption's not
sometimes
working.
you might need to just make sure that the page is refreshed or put an updated link in the chat or something like that. Actually, while we get that fixed, I think maybe this would be a good time to take a really quick break just so people can have the chance to stretch and we can get those captions fixed up and ready to go. And then we will return very soon with a planning session at the Cool Beans Cafe. Thank you all very much who's watching in chat, and hopefully you're enjoying the show. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. We had last left our heroes off as they were about to begin their Save the Community Center planning session in the Cool Beans Cafe. So, what would you like to do next, crew?
Just gonna talk to make sure to see if my captions are a thing. Yay, captions. They look like they're working.
Yes. Hooray!
All right. So I imagine we've like, I think we might be in a lull between like maybe it's before Robin is going to work, but it's after we've finished work, and it's sort of like a lull between shifts in the, so there's not too many people in the cafe, and we've like co-opted 2 tables and sort of spread out. I've got some maps and like some like plans, building plans that I've like spread out, and some other pieces of paper, and we're like, you know, a couple of coffees deep.
Mm-hmm. And there's a couple different people there sitting. There's one guy that's sort of just sitting slumped over a laptop that looks like he's got, several days worth of sleep deprivation, dark circles under the eyes. And then there are 2 maybe like late teens, early 20s girls that are sitting at a booth across from each other. They look really similar, except one of them has blonde hair and one has brown hair, but they're both wearing them in those very like tightly combed back, pulled up ponytails, and they are just going at it with coffee and getting progressively louder and louder as they consume more caffeine. They're like, oh my gosh, you did it! Oh no, you did! They're going a little hard on the coffee.
Yeah, speaking of going hard on the coffee, I've got about the mug probably like that big. I'm just got it, double fisting cup of coffee, just like up early, not super stoked about it, just like, ugh.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just like talking too much, going into detail about like things and explaining like the technical reasons why the building is sound, and I sort of like am on a bit of a rant, and then I finish with but the weirdest thing was how easy it was to point out to the committee that this was a problem, and they were pretty malleable to recognizing that it's a problem, which sounds positive. And I walked away feeling like superhuman and really good. I was like, yeah. And then it should have already happened. They should have already known. So even though they said, if we get some petitioners and we can get parents on that, but like it's sort of weird that they didn't already just like those types of impact statements and stuff weren't already done. It's weird.
Yeah, that doesn't sound super right, I guess, but at the very least, maybe it's, I don't know. At least they're gonna be done now, I guess, but I don't know. Something still feels weird about that. At the very least, maybe we can keep an eye on it and make sure that it's actually getting done this time, but I don't know what would have went wrong or why it wouldn't have been done before, I guess.
The thing is, though, with the way these things work, it's going to take like weeks to do this paperwork. And in those weeks, the other stuff isn't going to stop. So we could potentially get to the point where the building is gutted before they realize it shouldn't have been. And, demolition could start. And once once demolition starts, like this is the specs for the building as it is now. Once demolition starts, it's not going to be a sound building anymore. It's going to be a half demolished building, and then it's better to just keep going. And I've seen developers do that before. You just start, and then it's cheaper for the city to let you keep going. So I don't know.
So what
I don't
you're
know what the
saying
right
is we need a proper protest and people chained to things, right? Is that what I'm hearing? That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, if it comes down to the wire, yeah, that like can't demolish a building that has people in it.
Let's just hope it doesn't get to that point, I guess. But yeesh.
Yeah, I worry what the right thing to do for the brownies is. Like, I worry if the right thing is to go to them and be super excited that they're going to be moving somewhere new and start like a transition process and start them like going to new places, or if the right thing is to just get them on board and start next week the activity is painting placards. Like I don't know what the right thing to do is.
Is a transition thing something that's even like affordable? Is that something that can be managed? I wouldn't know, but I guess if we can make it work, that might be what we want to start with.
I mean, if it's inevitable, the mix in the city council of mundane and mythos is sort of a bit heavily mundane, and I just get a sense that something else is happening, and it's not just building practices, it's not just gentrification and a building company taking over. Something's like I don't know, I get a weird feeling.
I mean, that would make sense, but it's at the same time like, how would we even confirm that?
We could, I don't know, we could ask for a meeting.
Ask for a meeting
with the building company, with Mulan.
Okay, yeah.
I like it. And then we plant a bug.
You want to plant a bug?
Yeah. People ignore me. They don't realize I'm there half the time.
Look, I work for the city. I'm just gonna put my hands over my ears.
You
guys
hear
keep
this.
Talking.
You didn't hear this. All right, yeah. I'll wave when you can take your hands off. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying, how would we go about it? Also, we might get in a lot of trouble if we get caught.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
I have so much space in this chair.
Okay.
I can smuggle just about anything in anywhere. And then people don't even know I'm there half the time. Like they overlook me completely. So having something, in my chair and then just like sticking it on the edge of a desk or something could even make it look like a piece of gum or something, and just, stick it somewhere.
Okay. I am in love with this, and I think we could get this to work. We'll have to find a good spot during this meeting where we could hide a bug. That is something that you and I are going to have to work on, because I don't think that we can I don't think we can go about it and let Tommy know, I guess. Kind of gestures to the plugged ears. Like, I can help you. I can get you a bug. But we just have to make sure that nobody finds out about it. And I will help you get it in the chair and make sure that you can easily stick it to something and it's gonna stay. Does that work?
That sounds great.
Awesome.
I mean, seriously, I smuggle all kinds of things in all kinds of places you don't even want to know in this thing.
Honestly, I respect it. And I'll wave like, hey, unplug your ears.
Whew. Okay.
Anyway.
So just a regular... We're just...
Regular meeting. Absolutely. Regular meeting. Nothing out of the ordinary. It'll be perfect.
I mean, there already is a couple of layers, because on one layer in my head, I'm like, we can, we're like, hey, why not keep us in your precinct that you're buying up? You don't need to demolish, just have us as part of your new development. Like, we're actually trying to pitch something. On another level, we're going to be trying to get a vibe for what's happening. And then, if there are levels I don't know about, that's fine.
There's nothing. You know everything. Don't worry about it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I would never keep something from you.
Everything has been taken care of to the point where I think, yeah, you know everything. Don't worry. We're all good.
Would Isaac be on board with your plan?
Absolutely.
100%.
Well, maybe if there's anything I can't know about, maybe just loop him in, and I trust his judgment.
I'll get a hold of him. I'll make sure it'll all be fine. Don't worry. Isaac would totally be okay with it. Don't worry.
Okay.
Besides, there is nothing to loop Isaac in on because nothing's happening. It's all good.
Absolutely. I would never do anything.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't witnessed you smuggle anything in your chair. That's fine.
We're all good then.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, Robin, now that we have the wheels of this idea in motion, and you have volunteered so bravely to get a bug to spy on the Lawn Ventures, how are you going to go about procuring this? And are you using any of your special powers to be able to do it, or connections?
I don't think I would really have any that would like.
That's okay. I just have to ask.
I don't think so, no. But so kind of what I'm thinking could work is oh geez. So with kind of like some of the work that Robin does, like obviously he has to keep in contact. I'm sure he's got like a radio and things like that. And there's probably a good way to kind of, I don't know, he'd probably have to ask somebody for help, someone that he works with, just to kind of be like, hey, probably. I feel like he is to the point where he does have kind of a good relation with his boss, one of his many bosses, namely the boss that he works with for a lot of like the nightclub jobs and everything. Very kind of close with him, and kind of be on that relationship of being like, hey, if I were to be looking for something like this, do you know where I would go?
Okay, gotcha. So
Yeah.
you could theoretically have like a reliable bosses or no, undercover bosses power tag that you could add to this role. I think this is going to be change the game because you're trying to change something about the world by bugging this corporation somehow and see if you can get a hold of it.
Yeah.
So if you have anything else that you want to add to it, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you can go ahead and make me a change the game roll.
I don't think that there's anything of mine that would be super effective here. Oh geez, how do I don't know how to roll on Roll20.
It's
wait,
when
here
you
it is.
go in your character sheet. Yeah, the top left. Okay, so that was a 9, and then you had an extra power tag, so it would be a 10, which I believe, yeah, on a 10 plus, you get a minimum of 2 juice. Okay, juice is pretty cool. It essentially gives you some points that you can do to help somebody else or nerf a bad guy or change something about the world. So you can like mark down somewhere on your sheet that you've generated 2 juice because you got a really good roll. And then you can spend that juice to create a story tag, which would be something like, okay, now I have the bug.
Okay.
You can do it with a greater area or more targets, make it ongoing, or hide it, or any other improvement that we can agree upon because of your high roll.
Would hide it make the most sense, I guess, if it's an item that I'm trying to obtain specifically for like trying to hide it somewhere else?
Trying to be discreet, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm specifically trying to be discreet about having it so that no one knows that I do, and because the two of us are going to try and hide it somewhere.
Okay, yeah. So since you're trying to do this on the down low with your successful roll, you'll get a bug that is, you know, pretty straightforward and basic, but it's very small, very stealthy. What does this look like? Is this the kind of thing that like you just stick on a wall somewhere? Is this hidden in a pen? Tell me a little bit more. How do you want to flavor this?
I like the idea that it kind of looks like this little tiny sort of metal disc in so that you can kind of make it look like a metal screw or something, to the point where you would be able to just kind of stick it onto something and it would look inconspicuous, like a metal sticker sort of, so you could just kind of put it on something and it would look like it's like something's been screwed in there, I guess, to kind of keep it looking subtle. Yeah,
like your IKEA furniture with the little screw that sticks out of the side of the wood somehow. Perfect.
Exactly.
I love it. So yeah, you're able to get that pretty easily. Your boss is like, yeah, sure thing, anything to help you out, Robin. And I can totally count on you at that event next week, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'll see you there.
Yeah. Give me a name for this boss, just because I think I love the idea that you have someone that's kind of running the FBI almost.
His name is Jackie Davis.
From Jackie Davis. Awesome.
My boss, Jackie Davis, who sometimes gives me who owns a nightclub and sometimes gives me things and doesn't ask questions, and I love him very much for it.
Excellent.
Thank you, Jackie.
Excellent. All right, so you have this bug. What will you do next?
I am going to gonna give it to Mac at some point. I'll bring it over, I guess. Next time I see you, either like before like our next group meeting or whatever, right before it starts, and I'll like just kind of have it in like a little envelope and pass it on to you and be like, so I know that we talked at the coffee shop a little bit about how you were missing a part for your chair. So I went and I got it from somebody and I passed it over. Just like, if you need help figuring out getting that set up, just shoot me a text or whatever and we can work on it, or an email.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Happy to help.
I'm gonna juice this up.
I like to imagine that how Tommy was like, oh, does Isaac know about this? Something like that. I like to imagine somebody sent him an email that was like, hey, we're doing a lot of stuff while you're gone, but
Yeah.
you've got that automated, I'm out of the office and I won't be back until this day. Please, if this is an emergency, contact my supervisor.
Yeah, just like
So you got like his very cheerful, automated, out of the office email.
even though we're like, yeah, kind of causing issues, it's fine. It'll be fine. We'll tell Isaac when he gets back. Nothing's wrong. Oh, jeez.
no.
Not at all. Everything is all going according to plan.
Everything's great. I don't know why you would worry.
Nothing to worry about. Nothing to see here.
Yeah. And Tommy,
good.
it's fine.
We're good.
So if we're back together, does that mean this is like whatever we said, the second brownie day of the week? Is that where we're up to now?
Totally could be, yeah. The time is kind of fluid in this. It's a little bit like movie time where you can do like flash forward, montage, flashback, that kind of thing. So it's totally up to y'all if you want to fast forward ahead to that or if there's other planning things that you want to do.
I'm down for it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good.
Did we decide to tell them or not tell them? Tell the brownies or not tell the brownies? I think tell the brownies.
I think if we don't tell them, we're going to end up with another Timmy's Dragon situation here. I mean, I'm serious.
I think we should tell them, but I don't think we should right now. But if you think that it would be better, then that's fine. I'll be fine with that. Yeah. If you want to tell the brownies now, go for it. But
I think Ariel said an email was going out to families. So I think if an email is going out to families, they'll probably, that thing will happen that Max said might happen, where like they'll find out from other people. And if any of them have like the type of premonition-y thing I have, some of them might already know. So I think we enlist. I think we let them know, and we make it a project. We just be honest, and we make it a project and see if they have any ideas, and let them be part of the problem, but then also try and help them start thinking about what they'll do if we don't save the building. I don't know. I'm unsure as I'm saying it, but I think we just have to be honest.
okay. Sounds good then.
Is that good with
Yeah.
you, Mac? I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
kind
like
of you've done more like counseling stuff than me. Is that right?
I think we need to be upfront, as honest as they can handle. You know, these are 6 and to 10-year-olds. You know, they're little, so give them the information they can handle, and then be ready for a billion questions that are half of them the same, and be ready to go over things again and again and again, and give it to them in chunks that they can handle. Because they're not going to be able to handle, you know, everything all at once here.
I think we give them something they can do. So we see if they have any ideas and let them have a think. But also we could get them to write letters to the city council, and then I could take them with the signatures that the parents are collecting.
Yeah, I like that. Maybe do that instead of the journaling that they normally do.
Yeah, we so often run out of time for the journaling anyway. I always feel bad. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a different thing. All right. Let's do it.
So you're getting all the brownies ready to like file into the little basement room to practice the kind of things that they're doing with their mythoses. And then suddenly, Mirka, At your side appears little Timmy. It's just like, excuse me. I think I saw something that was moving over by the bathrooms, and I'm scared. Can you help me?
Yeah, let's go take a look.
Okay. And then he just sort of like wanders off in the direction of where the restrooms are, and you turn around the corner and you suddenly see a bunch of strangely shaped and weirdly colorful creatures. There's a kind of very angular with its joints dog that has ginormous teeth and is making a really loud barking sound. There's a big cloud of black and blue that's kind of just rolling around in this weird amorphous shape. There's a little clown that looks like it was cut out of construction paper and glued together with a little glue stick, and a whole bunch of other things that you've seen before on the pictures that the kids drew at the last brownies meeting.
It's the drawings.
Except now they are larger than life.
No.
Guys, you might want to get out here and keep the kids in there.
Oh, gee. Okay.
That's ominous.
Yeah, I'll come out. I'll come see what's going on. Oh, what is this? What is all this?
Robin, as you turn the corner, the big dog starts to just let out this like deep guttural growling in its throat with its ears pinned back, and it is just staring daggers at you right now.
Oh, I'm sure it is. That's so rude. Let's get this. Tommy, are you gonna come out or are you staying inside? Because I'm gonna shut the door.
Should we, is it an evacuate situation? Is there a fire? Should I evacuate the brownies?
No, not evacuate.
No.
Keep them in there. But get out here, please. Thanks.
Please.
Okay, I'll come out, but I'll be like, stay in here. And then I'll stand at the door and I'll be like,
I'm not sure how to tell you that the kids' drawings have kind of come to life and look like they're going to attack us. That's not really, I'm not sure how to tell you that without freaking everybody out. So come out. Come out here.
oh shit. Okay.
Put
all right,
Karen in charge. It'll be okay.
Continue your activities. Put who in charge?
Karen.
Karen. Yeah, you got it. Okay, good work. Don't be bossy. Okay, bye.
Oh my god.
What?
I just point. I point at yeah. And then I'm just gonna immediately shut that door.
As you do that, the picture of the dark just sort of floats over to where Tommy is and just envelops her in this cloud of roiling shadow. It's going to make a go toe-to-toe roll against you.
Oh my god, Tommy.
Oh man. Let's see.
So do we both roll? Is that?
No, it's just trying to totally cover you in this sort of roiling dark shadow thing. So you see it coming, and you can describe what it is that you would like to do in response, because you've seen things like this before. Your whole method is caverns and tunnels and keeping people safe from the
Yeah, so I guess I'm sort of like in the corner of my eye, I see the clown, and I'm like very upset that there's a clown that's now just there. And so but the big darkness doesn't really scare me so much. So I have like a power tag that's control darkness.
Oh, nice.
So I guess I'm gonna try and use that.
Okay. So you would like to use it to control the darkness to do what?
I think I'm just gonna try and like squish it down.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a hit with all you've got, and you can add the control darkness and any other power tags you have that would apply.
And I'll just do that one.
Okay. Oh, awesome. It's a 10, which I believe gives you juice as well.
Juice? I haven't gotten juice before.
So yeah, you get to choose 2 things. You can achieve your goal, get them good, and inflict a status on them, which would be something like afraid or restrained or just any other type of status that could describe an ongoing effect on this picture of the dark. Or you block, dodge, or counter their best attempts. So you get to pick 2 of those things to have happen.
So I think I want to do that thing I said, like kind of restrain, like squish it down, restrain it. This might be a bit much, but can I this might be a bit too D&D, but like,
no, go for it.
Can I like hold an action to potentially then use it against one of the other things that are there, like throw it at one of the other things?
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So you're like kind of dodging its attempt, and then you're holding on to it, your goal being that you want to chuck it at something else if it goes to bother your friends.
Yeah,
I think that works out really, really well. So with your Tommyknocker mythos powers, you are able to control the darkness. Awesome. And this is kind of like again, the camera just swivels around during an action scene thing. So we don't really have a turn order per se. But basically, like, once everybody goes, we'll like switch the spotlight around between players and what I'm controlling as well. So anyone else has any ideas? Hop in.
Oh geez. Okay. I think, oh god, I don't even know what I would do.
So you've got your friend who's controlling this crayon ball of the dark, a giant dog, and a clown made out of construction paper and sticky glue stick glue.
Yeah, that's not great. I think I would probably just be a little bit more focused on, I guess, blocking the door that like leads into the room with all the brownies. I think I would be focused on blocking that to prevent any of them from trying to get in that room, and then only like defending if they come at me, I guess. Is that something I would roll for now, or would I wait on that?
Yeah, no, go ahead and make a face danger roll for me. If you have anything else that you want to add to it, let me know what power tags.
Okay. Sorry, I've got tabs open.
Yeah. Streamer problems. Too many tabs open.
Absolutely. So I realize now I forgot to add my my tags and stuff to roll 20, but I do have like as one of like my 4, I have like the Bastion ability, I guess. Yeah. I don't know if I would add to that here or
I think if you can make it apply, you're doing something that's protective. So like you can flavor it in a way that's very protective.
okay, yeah, I would.
So it's up to you what you call it because you get to name your own moves in this system. But yeah, I think that applies.
Yeah, that would just be more of a that would just be being protective at that point. So I would add that. And then face danger, you said?
Yeah. Face danger.
Ah! Damn.
Oh, you miss and take the full status. Okay, so I think
Wasn't that just great?
that means that as you are getting ready to charge towards the door and block it, the clown made out of construction paper is also making a break for it for the door and is just going to try and open it up as more drawings begin to pour out of, or more of these living drawings begin to pour out of the papers that they're on. So it's going to try and change the game. 10, that is going to be a success. And now the door is open.
Great. Thanks.
And I think this will give you a frustration status of 1 because you were foiled in your attempt to stop the door from opening. So if you look down at the bottom of the Roll20 below where your Mythos and Logos tags are, they have those things that are called tracking cards. You can just like label one of them that's like frustration or anger or something like that and fill in the little pip that just says the 1 on it. So you now will be taking a -1 to your rolls until you recover from frustration.
Oh, that's super.
And then you put whether it's
helpful.
a positive thing or a negative thing. So your statuses in this game can be positive or negative, but right now you are frustrated. And then the little construction paper clown is just like, ah, ha, 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 as it's running down the hallway.
Great. I hate this clown. Ugh. Awesome. I'm gonna set it on fire, I swear to God.
Yeah, where is
America.
the kid that sets things on fire?
Probably still back in the little like brownies basement room area, thing like that.
Well, in the meantime, before we get any of the children involved, because that seems slightly irresponsible,
Slightly.
I am going to take out I'm going to take out my artist supplies, and I'm going to try painting over one of these and see what happens.
Oh, nice. What are you going to paint?
I am going to paint the dog and make it into a friendly, happy animal. Maybe a unicorn. I think a unicorn.
Nice. Paint over the dog, give it a unicorn makeover. Let's go ahead and have you change the game on that. And you can add, I'm assuming you're adding your art supplies as a power tag, but you can add anything else that applies there too.
I'm going to use artist tools and power of a story and bring joy.
Awesome. So change the game +3. Oh, wow. Great success. Awesome. So you have 4 juice that you have now. You can create a story tag with that. So add something to the scene or the situation that is just, you explain what that is, and that's now true. You can also give a status to somebody else or reduce something that's doing them harm. Yeah, scale up the effect, prolong the effect, or anything else that you can think of. So you got 4 juice now. You can use As much or as little of that as you want right now.
All right, I'm going to use one of them to remove Ace's frustration.
Okay, great. So
the
you are
unicorn
no
makes
longer
him so
frustrated.
happy. Unicorn makes him so happy he just can't help but laugh about this.
Great, thank
Love
you.
it.
I appreciate it.
And I think I'm going to add the story tag malleable. We know now that these things can be taken care of with a little bit of paint.
Great. I love that.
And so what are the other things I can do with the juice? Sorry, I'm still trying to get used to this.
No, that's totally fine. Basically, it's create story tags or give or reduce a status. You can also scale up the effect. So like you can have this paint effect on more than a single target, or you could prolong the effect. And basically like anything else, if it sounds cool, or if you're like, I have this wild and wacky idea, but it just might work, just tell me about it and we'll decide if that's something that could work for the situation.
I'm gonna have this scale it up, so have it affect some of the other paintings. You tell me how many.
Yeah, I think you could probably get 2 others because you've got 2 more juice.
Okay, the clown for sure, because that seems to be the biggest threat.
What do you turn that into?
And I turn it into a mime.
Silent mime. I love it. Fantastic.
And then just one other. Is there like a spider or anything like that?
Yeah, there's some spiders, there's some like swarms of bees, other, random insect type things that small children might find scary because they're noisy and make weird movements.
I'll turn the bees into butterflies.
Oh, I love it. So now we just have Tommy with the darkness. We have a barking, toothy dog that has been transformed into a friendly, happy unicorn. And we also have Timmy, who is just standing next to Mirka at this point, like, slack-jawed, just looking around like, oh my God, magic!
I'm so glad it's Timmy out of all of the kids that have
And you can hear just
here.
the oblivious, restless sounds of the brownies in the basement room, just being like, chattering and talking and getting ready to start the activities.
Oh dear, Timmy. So are there more scary things?
They appear to be somewhat slow in their coming out of the portraits now that they have been changed into some different things, but the main like threats in the room, stuff that y'all handled pretty well.
I'm still holding this like crayon darkness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be a little bit focused in on it. I'm gonna like try and see if I like perceive anything about how it's like. I don't know if I get a vibe. I want to see if I get a vibe.
Yeah, a vibe check.
A vibe check.
I'll go
so
ahead
like
and have you roll investigate for that. What are you trying to? Well, okay, I'll have you roll first, and then we'll see because that's how it works when you get to ask questions. I'll have you roll first, apply any tags that you want, and then we'll find out what Tommy knows about the darkness.
Well, I have control darkness, so I'll add that. And then yeah, I'm just gonna add premonitions as well.
Okay.
Because that's that. Can you explain to me the concept of adding a weakness tag?
Yeah, so that would be if you are trying to, weakness tags allow you to essentially nerf yourself so that you can have character growth moments further down the line. So for instance, if we were using your crew weakness tag, since when we made the crew tags, y'all had the like indecisiveness trait as the weakness of the crew, you could decide, hey, I'm going to use my indecisiveness to subtract 1 from the roll, and then you get to mark, I believe it's called attention. Yeah, attention. You see where there's attention and crack up at the top of each of those cards. So if you ever use a weakness tag to basically hinder yourself in a roll, you get to add attention to that card, and that can give you some cool character growth things over time.
Cool. Okay. All right. I am not going to do that. But I've just added 2, and so I'm rolling investigate. I keep rolling on roll 20, but I have dice in my hand, but I'm holding on to them.
Yeah. Okay, so you have got a 12. Excellent. And you get some juice for that because that's a dynamite roll. So take a point of juice. And you get to ask me 2 questions. Ask me about the subjects of your investigation, or ask another player a relevant question about their character. That might not necessarily apply here, but yeah.
Is there a place that you like mark down juice?
Usually I use one of those status tracker tag things down at the bottom below your character cards. I just wrote one that said juice and then filled in the little pips.
Cool. Okay.
I don't know if that's the official way to do it, but that is what I have been doing.
That's all good. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So and then I get 2 questions because I did 2 power.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, and I have to answer them truthfully or give you a strong lead because you rolled a dynamite roll.
Okay, cool. So I'm trying to get a sense. I'm weirded out by this. When I think when I tried to control this, I didn't think I would be able to because it's crayon. It's not actually like lack of light. It's not darkness. So I'm a bit confused about why it would have the aspects of real darkness. Like what's happening. So I guess my first question is like, how did you manifest? How did this manifest?
This isn't something that you have seen before, but you are aware that mythoses, in addition to living inside of human beings, they can also inhabit places, which you know because of your work with buildings and of your familiarity with all of that. They can also inhabit certain objects. And you get the sense that maybe the reason why these drawings and arts and crafts projects were able to come alive might have something to do with the fact that the kids that made them also have mythoses.
Did we see, was it just the drawings of their fears or other things were alive as well?
Just the drawings of their fears, but those were the only things that were like hanging up on the walls at that time.
Okay. And I guess my second question, I'm gonna reach out and see if there's any sort of like mythic, like I don't know, tethers, or like if I can see any lines going off this power to something. So in my head I'm like, if it's an object that's just recently been brought into the building, can I sort of can I get a sense of like, yeah, if it's like do I know where the origin is, I guess?
I'm imagining kind of like when they do an infrared map, like a heat map or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going for?
Yeah.
Okay. So not that there's a particular origin point for all of these. They were all created by different kids in this area, but as you're sort of thinking and reaching out using, the myth that is living inside of you, thinking of, the Tommyknocker and its connections with other things, you get this faint sense, almost like a mental image in your head of a map of the city. And it lights up here where you are at the queue, where these drawings came to life. And then you also see it lights up at a theater and a daycare center and a school and an art studio. And it comes to you that the places that you're seeing just kind of flashing on this mental image are all the same places that Milan Ventures has been buying up over the year.
Blech, that's bad. I think I want to like squish the darkness all the way down till it's just like crayon.
I love it.
I go, are you guys okay?
Yep. You're just gonna squish it?
Yeah.
I mean, if it works, it works, I guess.
I made it small. I just make it smaller and smaller until it's just the crayon. Yeah. Is that bad?
I like it.
I just fair enough, honestly.
Yeah, this is a game where you can pretty much do anything you can think of, and I think it's very clever. Here's an important question for the group at large, and anybody feel free to chime in on this. Is this the first time that you've gotten an inkling of each other's mythoses? Have you seen what each other can do before? And how do you react?
I mean, y'all still haven't seen mine, so.
Fair.
That was completely mundane, painting over things.
I didn't do anything except get assaulted by a clown, so unfortunately I didn't show off any prowess besides just physical. I think this is like the first time that we're seeing Tommy's though. I guess. Is that something that we would see, or is it something that you're doing that we wouldn't like? I guess, what are we seeing when you're doing that?
Yeah, that's up to Curly to describe, but mythoses can sense other mythoses. So you would notice something, but yeah, Curly, I'll leave it up to you how it is that manifests for Tommy.
Yeah, I think I like the trope of like your eyes just going, I think my eyes just go completely black and I'm just like looking, but also like, yeah, you did see me like just control the darkness.
Fair enough. I mean, that's pretty badass.
Yeah. I'm just kind of looking at both of you, looking for like a way to not have to like, I don't know. It's sort of new for me to it's my powers are sort of new and I don't know, I haven't really done them in front of other people, and before I grabbed that ball of darkness I didn't know that I would be able to do that, so I'm just like, so Timmy, are you okay?
And he's just like, yeah, I mean, I know that I always make up those stories about being able to see dragons and dinosaurs and all that stuff, but these were real, right? Like you just squished it and made it go away and turned it into a crayon. Can I have it? Can I have the crayon?
I mean, yeah, Timmy, you can have the.
I'm gonna make
kinda
so many
mushed.
good pictures with it.
Are we
Oh my god.
really giving the kid
Is
a
that
crayon
safe?
that
It's
we
fine,
don't
it's
know
fine.
if it won't come to life again?
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
All right. I mean,
Uh,
I won't.
Okay.
I won't pry. However, watching you do that was pretty badass.
I thanks. It's I didn't know I didn't know that would work. But yeah, darkness is not like yeah, it makes sense for little kids to be scared of the dark, but I'm not. So wasn't gonna have anything on me. The clown though, I'm glad you dealt with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta work on that one.
It's just some paint.
It's good. It was great. We should get back in there. Karen is gonna have them regimented like she does.
Yeah. We're sure that's not gonna happen again, though? We're good here? Nothing's,
Well,
I don't know.
I'm sort
This
of
is-
good at getting like vibes of things. That's another one of my. Anyway, yeah. So I, I don't know if it's gonna happen again, but there's something weird here. But I think we're. I have no idea. I have no idea. What do I know? I don't know. I think we're okay for now. I don't know.
Fair enough. That's a perfectly valid answer. We have a lot to catch Isaac up on, huh?
Oh.
Hopefully, he won't be mad. That's all I have to say.
Come on, we have to go tell these kids about the building.
All right, let's go.
So you make your way back to the little basement room area. And Ariel is not in the office today. This is one of the days that she is at a different branch location, but Morgan is there trying to like keep tabs on the kids, keep them from, doing anything too destructive to the room. And she's like, all right, everybody, settle down. We have some important announcements before we get started with what we're doing today. She turns it over to you all. And the kids are like squirming and getting their last little bits of jitters out as they're slowly falling more quiet in the room.
I just look at Mecca.
Yeah, I don't think I should be the one to say it.
All right, so I think I would ask if anybody had heard anything from their parents about what was going on, or from other people, and see what people said first.
And you see some head shakes and head nods, and then there's one kid that's like, my parents said that maybe we would have to go to, we might have to go to a new class after Halloween because this one might close down.
Yeah, it might, but we're gonna work on that. But if it does, we'll find a different place for you. In the meantime, who wants to help?
And then some of them are like, I do. And then some of them a little more quietly raise their hands, a bit more reserved.
Okay, so today, instead of doing a journal, we are going to write a letter We're going to write a letter to the people who would make the decision, and we're going to tell them what we like about this place. We're going to tell them what the queue has done for you. If you need help spelling any of the words or anything, just ask one of the grown-ups and we'll help you. But I think that they need to hear from you guys how important this is. Can you guys all do that?
You're like, yeah, yeah. And they go, as Morgan's starting to pass out some paper and some writing materials for the kids. They sit down, doing that thing where they kind of stick their tongue out the side of their mouth while they're printing letters really slowly, painstakingly. Maybe some of the slightly older children helping the younger ones out. And they write some of their favorite things about the queue.
All right. So I think that's all we needed to talk to them about, guys.
Yeah, that was good. They seemed like they have a purpose and are working towards something. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
While we're here, I would like to ask Morgan, if she knows anything about Milan, anything that could possibly help us going into that meeting.
Mm-hmm.
While they're kind of working on their letters and everything, I'd like to go up to her and ask that.
Yeah. I mean, I've only met Dean a couple of times. He's kind of a hard ass from what I gathered. I didn't really get to talk to him too much because Ariel was handling all of that. But he's good. He's really good at what he does. If you want to like stop him from doing this, you better have something on him because he is very good at finding out what makes people tick and getting under their skin. Ariel's pretty calm generally. I mean, like she has to be running this place. There's always some sort of minor emergency popping up 3, 4, 7 times a day, but like she got flustered by him, and I've never seen her that impatient with somebody before.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he's got all of that like jargony buzzword stuff about big dreams and all that, but I don't know. The man is kind of a mystery, who he really is.
All right, that's good to know. We've got something. We've got a plan in the works, but I'm not. That's good to know. Actually, I'm not sure. I guess we'll have to be more careful on how we get this figured out.
Yeah, I mean, I know he works downtown. I don't know if the building is open to the public, but maybe it's open to the city council or I don't know, some other way.
Yeah, we'll just have to figure out how we want to do that. I appreciate it though. Thank you.
Yeah, totally. You doing okay there? You kind of came into the meeting a little bit wound up, all three of you.
Yeah, there was just a bit of just a small issue upstairs. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Yeah, everything's great. Nothing to worry about. But thank you for telling me the stuff about Dean.
Yeah, totally.
Great. He just kind of heads off. Great.
Yeah.
He steps away. And he's gonna go relay that to the other two. Just we should be careful because if Ariel is getting nervous about this, then who knows what issues we might have.
It's so complicated.
Sure is. But I don't know.
I think it's complicated, and I think that we need to find a way to get that meeting so that we can get this ball rolling.
Yeah, that's going to be kind of the difficult thing to figure out, is how we're actually going to get that interest and not just immediately get shoot away at the door, I guess.
If we go through the right channels, we can do it.
All right.
If we just rock up, they'll send us away. But if we book a meeting, if we have a meeting, and like when I was holding that crayon darkness, it was like there's something. I just got a feeling. There's something mythos based happening here. Something that company is doing. It's like as if, I don't know, like I'm a little bit new to mythos. I don't know about you two. Like when we're down there with the brownies, I feel like a bit of an imposter because I don't know what's happening. I don't know what I'm doing. But
that feeling's pretty mutual.
So like, yeah. Are ley lines a real thing? Because when I was holding onto that darkness, I tapped into something that it felt a bit like maybe the Mulan company are buying up these properties because they're like hotspots on ley lines or something. I don't know. Is that a real thing, or is that one of the fake things? Like, is that a mythos, or is that ley lines like a Timmy story?
Is that something I feel like I wouldn't know that.
You're welcome to roll if you want to investigate that in some way. It might take further investigation than just, general knowledge. That might be a longer term project to figure out, but it's a good start.
Just like, should I just roll like investigate for like past knowledge, or if I've heard anything about that, I guess? Okay.
Sure. Wow, great success. All right, so go ahead and, well, I guess you did already kind of ask me that question, didn't you? Yeah, you have listened to, being relatively new to your own mythos, but kind of tapped into the fact that like legends and myths and things might be real just based off of your own experience, both in the past and with what has happened today. You've heard stories about things that are sometimes called ley lines or sometimes called other things, connecting different like powerful places or centers for things like magic or important rituals or, I don't know, just significant locations. You don't really know too many specifics about that, but you do know that they tend to be arranged in these, typical like geometric configurations and such like that. But yeah, you're familiar.
Okay.
It would probably take a little bit more thorough digging to find out if that's what was going on here. It's a good hunch though.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it is possible, but I don't think like there's no way to be certain right now. We would have to look into it probably a lot more to figure out if that's the case, but there's no way to be 100% sure yet, at the very least. But
okay,
well, that might be something that they know. But
if we get a meeting, it's something I can tap into my mythos, and if that's, I don't even know if that's the phrasing we use, but anyway, I can do that, and I can see if anything links back to them, because yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to get a meeting to sort of sniff out if anything mystical is happening at that office.
All right. Well,
So it's okay for you to use magic powers, but it's not okay for me to bug things.
Maybe we shouldn't get into that.
just a comment apropos of nothing. The thing that I'll be doing doesn't have anything to do with my job, because our jobs still don't really. The city doesn't really identify mythoses that much. The thing that for, I don't know, if you like bug something that's sort of like corporate espionage, that could lose me my job. So that's just a comment I'm making to no one about nothing.
We're not committing corporate espionage. There's no reason to worry. I can assure you, I can promise you, we have not taken those steps and actions in advance. I promise. Totally. 100%. We are not doing that.
I would never.
I want Isaac to be back.
From in the distance, you all feel either phone vibration or ringtone chiming from your email as you see, I'm out of the office, but will be back very soon. In case of emergency, please contact my supervisor. Email from Isaac. Almost as if he knows, almost as if he's watching. And he knows that plans are afoot.
We will get Isaac back in the loop about everything and about how we're not committing crimes. See?
I don't do
It's not happening.
crimes.
I don't even know what crimes are.
And as you are all preparing to leave the queue for the night and go back to your respective homes, as Morgan is locking up the outside of the building and making sure that the windows are shuttered and all of those good things, you find several leaflets, sort of like glossy postcard type flyers. They're really expensive kinds that go out to promote exciting new business opportunities or flashing new products. And you see printed on it a picture of a very tall, sort of chrome and glass style skyscraper downtown with a big M on the top. You flip it over, and in a fancy script, come consult Milan Ventures about exciting new opportunities for you and your locations. We have big dreams for this city, and we hope that you do too. As you look up to see if maybe the person who was flyering for these is anywhere nearby, you catch sight of the retreating backs of two girls, late teens, early 20s, who look nearly identical, except one has brown hair and one has blonde hair. And they're both tied back and brushed up into very high, sleek ponytails, swishing as they slowly walk away. And that is where we're going to end our episode for tonight.
That's not great.
Incredible. Y'all killed it. That was awesome.
Damn it. All right.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing in chat?
Oh, I gotta catch up on chat.
Sticking around and watching our story. It's super great. As always, we will have the VOD available on Twitch shortly after we wrap the stream up here. So if there's anything that you missed or anything you'd like to go back and clip, the VOD will be available, and we have everything uploaded to YouTube not too much later. Let's see. I think so City of Mist does this thing that's like it's called a cinematic move at the end of each session, and it's called Geek Out during credits. So we kind of answer a question. So maybe we can go around and have everybody answer this before we do our little outros. Which character had the most meaningful interaction with your character this session? And you get to add a help point to that person, which gives them a temporary +1 to a roll. So you can do this with somebody that your character had a meaningful interaction with or that you really are hoping to in the future. Yeah.
Oh boy, let me pull up my notes. Meaningful interaction as in another person in the group?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, another player character.
Okay. I think that, I don't know, learning a lot about kind of Tommy's Mistos and everything was kind of a big intriguing moment to me at the very least. Kind of learning a bit more about kind of what you do and how that works, even if you aren't super wanting to talk about it as much.
Great. So Tommy, you can take a help point for that you can use for the next session. And
I am going to say that Robin was the most meaningful interaction I have, convincing him to procure spy equipment for me.
Of course, always
fantastic.
Always happy to help.
Community Center of Caring and Corporate Espionage. That's how we roll.
That's how we roll.
I love it so much.
Oh, it's only going to get worse. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm ready for it. I'm really excited to see what happens.
It won't end well, I can promise that, but it's fine.
But it'll make a great story.
For sure.
So Robin, you've got a help point for next session.
I think that Tommy either did this session or will. I think she's kind of reaching out to try. She feels a little bit like a brownie herself because she's still fairly new to her mythos and really unsure about it. And so the questions that she got from Robin and the questions that she asked, like there's a connection with Robin where she's just like trying to lean there a little bit and trying to like find out more about mythos and about how to live with that through Robin, I guess.
Well, we'll see how that plays out.
So Robin, a second help point for you for next session.
Thank you.
Awesome. So that was our little geek out during credits. I think we're going to go ahead and do our outros now. Since we are missing a Doc Rimbo, you were much missed, but I saw you hanging out in the chat. So thanks for coming and watching. Also, sorry, Isaac's email inbox might be a little bit full when he gets back to work. But yeah, you can find him at Doc Rimbo on all the social medias. And I know that he's going to be playing in a, it's called like Mists of Avalon or Fate of Avalon. That's like a Celtic mythology inspired game tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern on Encounter Roleplay. So definitely make sure that you check that out. And then Kiralee, do you want to tell us a little bit about who you are, where we can find you on the internet, and any other fun projects that you have coming up?
Yeah, I'm Kiralee Burnett. You can find me, Kiralee Burnett, on Twitter, and Sodawax on YouTube. And my fun projects at the moment are just doing kids D&D stuff. And also I am a turtle on Hit Dice Heroes, which you can find at Hit Dice Heroes on Twitter.
Awesome. And Emery.
I'm Emery. I am that bean too on Twitter, and yeah, I'm just hanging out here with Trinket and my cats. So nothing really to plug. So I'll see you guys next week.
What's your cat's name?
This one here is Gigi, and my other one is Butterbeer.
Oh, we love a stream cat here so very, very much.
That's very cute.
Aw.
Love that.
And Ace, tell us about yourself, how you're doing, where we can find you.
Well, I'm doing great, thank you. You can find me at the Star Blaster on Twitter, or you can catch my radio show, kumm.org or 89.7 FM, starting next Tuesday from 8 to 10 p.m. I'll be playing music, having just, talking up. You can call in, it'll be fun, but I post updates about that on my Twitter, so you can find me there first. Yeah.
Fantastic. And once again, I'm Anna at Nymeria941 on all of the various social medias. In addition to GMing this game here, I also play in the Star Trek Adventures Sword of Kahless game on Encounter Roleplay, where we play as an all Klingon crew that is looking for the legendary Sword of Kahless. It is a lot of fun if you like hilarious space sci-fi shenanigans, because I always roll terribly in that game, but it's wonderful for comic relief purposes. So that's on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern on Encounter Roleplay. I don't think I have anything else coming up that I can talk about just yet, because NDAs are a thing, but I have secrets, and if you want to keep updated on the secrets when they can be revealed, follow me on my Twitter, which is at Nymeria941.
I like that so much. I have secrets.
I have secrets. Plans and schemes. Always plans and schemes.
I know
So
what secrets are.
Yeah. They all will be revealed soon. And I think that's all we have to plug and share for the night. In the meantime, thank you all so much to everybody who came out to watch us live or watch us on YouTube. We really appreciate having you here. And we will see you the same time next week for some more mythical, legendary storytelling corporate espionage. Good night.
Night.